Greetings and konnichiwa, and welcome back to the Onyx Tavern vlog series on Russia Sentai ToQger. I'm your host, Rick the Barkeep, and today we're going to be discussing station number 29, the meeting with the oncoming train. Now, this episode, it's the same old story over and over and over again, and you know what? I'm getting tired of it, and ToQger said, hey, let's do this with no variation on what we've done before. So what is the episode? Basically, we find out that Schwartz has finished his repairs, and he's trying to come up with a plan to defeat Zet. And he decides he's going to go ahead and defect to the Rainbow Line, that he is going to join the ToQger in his efforts to go ahead and defeat Zet. And long story short, he joins them, he betrays them, steals the drill Rasha, and then runs away. And this is yet another episode where we have a villain that says, hey, I'm going to go ahead and defect. We need you guys. I need to join you guys because together we can go ahead and defeat our villain. And then they end up by the end of the episode, oh, I was just lying so I could gain something or do something or whatever and all that. Again, we've seen this plot 100 times before, especially in Sentai and in Power Rangers. I mean, they did in Geki Ranger, they did in Power Rangers Zeo. I mean, this plot is all over the place. And you would think that by the 100th time that they did it, and in the 38th season, that they would find some way to make this fresh and unique, and they really haven't. The only somewhat unique element in this episode is that he appeals to Akira, who has already betrayed the Shadow Line to the Rainbow Line. So when the episode actually brings that up, he's talking to Akira about, why did you defect? It almost seems like he's trying to justify going to the Rainbow Line because Akira was able to justify himself. But it doesn't even go that way. It becomes a story of Wright trusting Schwartz in this matter and Wright being wrong about his gut instincts, which again is something that we've seen before. So this actually shifted from Schwartz confining Akira to figure out why Akira did what he did to justify what he did, which is where I really thought they were going, to this ToQger trusts him because he's the most naive one, and we're going to go ahead and betray you at the end. Akira doesn't even really factor into the rest of the story. So I thought they were going in an interesting direction here, but no, they did the same thing over, and by the end, Schwartz, I'm the bad guy. I just wanted to get this, and then I'm going to get out of here now. Why couldn't this plot actually be that Schwartz did actually join the Rainbow Line, that he tries to be a good guy, that he actually wants to reform and all that? I mean, what we see in this episode is that he desires two things above all else: revenge against Zet and power. Power, of course, trumping his revenge, but he needs to get revenge in order to get that power. And he even states to Wright in the episode that, I want revenge on Zet. And Wright recognizes this and says, I know you're not lying about that. Which should have been the first thing he realized, you do want revenge, therefore I can't trust you. Because I think what we've seen is that anybody who has revenge as a motive typically isn't that person to be trusted. Nevertheless, he does trust him anyway, and he's using the Rangers as a ploy. Why couldn't this have been something where, again, he legitimately wants to defect? What could have set this up was the fact that, he abandoned his plan and all that kind of stuff because, he fell in love with Glitter. That's what happened. He fell in love with her. Zet killed her. He wants revenge on him, but he wants revenge for at least somewhat noble reasons. Now, of course, revenge is not a very noble cause to begin with, but you can make it seem like, hey, it is noble because I am trying to avenge somebody's death here. And of course, there is a question of whether Glitter is dead or not. Nevertheless, this episode really kind of, it feels like filler when it really isn't. The only other significant portion of this is that he steals the drill Rasha, which means they can no longer be able to go Shadow Towns. Great. So, as we've already established, they've gotten off track from their primary goal, finding their hometown. Then they have a secondary quest, or a side quest, where they're going to revive all the Shadow Towns, and now they can't do it after only 2 attempts, by the way. So, is, again, they had their primary goal, then they get the second goal. Now they have a third goal of getting the drill rush shot back so they can revive the Shadow Town so they can eventually find their hometown. I mean, what is this? Seriously, I don't know what direction they're going with here. Hopefully the next episode is going to let us in on this. Maybe we'll follow up on Schwartz, because I want to see what Schwartz's end game is. You know, is he really getting revenge? Is he really trying to gain power? What's he going to do with the drill rush shot? Because, again, the drill rush shot is as equal to power as maybe any of the other rush shots. The only added advantage that it has over the others is that because it was part of the Shadow Line, it can go to the Shadow Towns. So, is Schwartz going to go to the Shadow Towns? Is that part of his new goal now? What's he going to go ahead and do? I hope they follow up on this with something logical. That's kind of what I'm hoping. But, not much good from the episode. I really don't have anything else to say except, you know, hey, let's hopefully get some more creative stories as we go along. I know it's, again, the 38th season. They're not necessarily running out of ideas, but they are kind of getting stale. And again, with a franchise like this, when you can say, we're doing our 38th season, you should be able to come with some fresh ideas and realize, oh, we did this 50 times already. Let's try something different or give it a new spin. They didn't do that, and this is what we got. Well, that's all I have for you guys here today. Join me next time for Station 30, and let's see if it gets any better. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Have a good evening. And the tavern is now closed.